Welcome, everyone, to episode 117 of the Follow the podcast. Again, our bi-weekly Wednesday show talking all about news. And today, I think for the first time, some very important news came out that doesn't concern a movie, but it concerns people who bought tickets for something. And that is Star Wars Celebration. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Ewan McGregor's recent comments on Jimmy Kimmel, which we can speculate on that story for a long time. Andor set photos, which, I mean, do I need to say more?
If you guys have not been following me on Twitter, I've been screaming into the void all week.
Yes. And it's, we're just going to devote a lot of time to that story because I feel like you need it.
I do need it.
I feel like you need it.
I need it.
And then Pride merch is released by Star Wars. And then to round it out, we got the Bad Batch.
Been a big week in Rachel Land. Been a big week in Rachel Land.
And then we got the Bad Batch on Friday, episode 3, which I'm sure we could talk a little bit at the end, see if our thoughts have changed at all since last week. But just to get going with the news that broke today, Star Wars Celebration is now May 26th, 29th, 2022, moved up from August. Now, I was never going to go because when I buying tickets, they were sold out rather quickly. And then obviously with COVID, any thought of that just, didn't even come into my mind. But I'm curious for you guys, either if you were planning on it or like just your general thoughts on them moving it up, and whoever wants to take that. Well, I guess Jason, I'll start with you since you went to Celebration in Chicago in 2019.
Well, yeah, I hadn't planned on going to 2020 because it was going to be in California. So,
Yeah.
So wait, just so I have it right, because I thought it was going to be August of this year, but it was going to be August of 2022.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, so honestly, in a non-Star Wars kind of way, that actually makes me feel a little bit better. Because it makes it seem like people are pretty confident by May of next year that we can have 100,000 people in a room and it not be a big deal. So, on a health level, that makes me feel better. Also, I think it's good. I mean, it's good. What? It's Memorial Day weekend next year. That'll be the is it the 45th anniversary of A New Hope?
Yeah, the 40th was 2017. Yep. So yeah, 45th will be.
So that'll be the 45th anniversary of
and the 20th of Attack of the Clones, which is insane.
Does that make anybody else feel like really old?
It makes me feel sad.
A little.
I had to send something to my friend Robin today that it was, God, what did I send him? It was 8,000 and something days from the release of Phantom Menace. So it was the same amount of time from the release of the first Star Wars to Phantom Menace as it was from the Phantom Menace to now. And apparently I've made him feel elderly. Today marks the 8,029th day since the release of Phantom Menace. There was 8,029 days between the release of Star Wars in 77 and Episode 1 in 99.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
But it makes me wonder because I don't know what the schedule. I don't remember what the schedule is. For 2020, I mean, May. I guess almost middle of 2022. I mean, there's a good chance we'll be getting all kinds of crazy trailers. We're probably getting. I mean, if Kenobi's not out yet, we'll be very close to Kenobi.
I heard that
Book of Boba Fett should be out.
For D23 is in September that year, September or October, it looks like. So they said they're probably moving Star Wars Celebration, so it's not going to be like the month before D23, so they can space out announcements.
What is this? Because I don't have it. I don't have it. I mean, and I don't remember. What is the schedule for like the Taika Waititi movie and the Rogue Squadron movies?
Rogue Squadron is 2023. Taika Waititi, I think they don't have a date yet for that one.
Date yet? Okay. Because it'll be weird for them to have. Because I mean, I can't remember the last celebration that they had where they didn't have a movie to promote. So
I know though they do have. I think we're supposed to get Kenobi and Andor both in 2022.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So if we don't already have one of them, which is funny because I don't know which one we're going to get first. Because I mean, I know Andor started.
We're also supposed to get Mando season 3.
Mando season 3. I mean, there'll be a lot of stuff to promote, but usually they have like a big movie, and that's what they anchored around. Last Jedi or Skywalker, or did they have one the year that Force Awakens came out? They had to. That would have been crazy not to.
I know they had one.
Fisher and Mark Hamill. Yeah.
I know they had one. I think it was Celebration London was when Rogue One came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'd just be weird to not have like a movie to promote. They usually have a big movie that's like what they build everything around. I mean, they're going to have plenty of stuff. It's not like it just gets to be like just T-shirts and stuff there. But like, I don't know.
Emily, what do you think? What are your thoughts?
Anaheim's pretty far from me, so I don't think I would be able to go.
Yeah.
I've never gone, and I have pretty bad social anxiety, so I don't know if I could ever go, unfortunately. I would love to go. That's part of the thing of having social anxiety. You want to go, but you don't want to go. So, yeah, I would love to go, though. It sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, and the cool thing about it is this is going to be the first celebration that we can really expect a lot of Disney Plus centered stuff. Because in Chicago, it was just the announcement of The Mandalorian, and we hadn't seen anything yet. And 2022 was supposed to be season 1 of Mando. Celebration last year was supposed to be season 1 of Mando. And I'm sure if they...
Awkward.
Oh, wait, did I freeze?
We lost you,
Yes.
I froze a second, right?
Yeah.
You're
sure
okay. I figured. But I was going to say, if the celebration wouldn't have been canceled, I wonder if they would have made some of those Star Wars announcements that they did at the end of last year, if they would have made them then. Because that would have made huge news.
Well, they had already announced Kenobi, and originally Kenobi was supposed to shoot last March.
Right, but with Ahsoka, Lando, Rangers of the New Republic, all those new shows.
They might have done a couple of them, but I think I'm sure a lot of them they would have wanted to save for the investors.
Yeah.
Because we were supposed to get this stuff a lot more spaced out. COVID just gave us all the middle finger schedule wise.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, if you had supposedly wasn't Celebration for August of 2022 sold out already?
Yeah.
So now basically all you have to do is, so people who had tickets, they didn't lose their tickets. They still have the tickets,
No, they're good. I just worry about the people who booked hotels.
Right.
Because now you're gonna have to change your reservation, and if people who may have been coming from overseas, their plans are probably all screwed too. Because I'm sure they took time either off of work or they just planned very thoughtfully that it's going to be in August, I can go. And now moving it up 3 months, it's kind of a sticky situation to get through.
They did give it's. Go ahead, Jason. Sorry.
No, because normally you wouldn't be able to do that because all the venues would be full. You wouldn't be able to book a venue 3 months earlier than you had originally planned. So it's kind of fortunate that they're going to be able to do that. I don't know this for sure because I don't have this problem. I can't imagine it's going to be a problem to find more hotels. Everybody's going to be scrambling. Everybody who had hotels booked in August is just going to be scrambling. But I can't imagine if Anaheim had their hotels booked already. before this announcement. So
Yeah.
It does make me excited
I mean-
that conventions are coming back, just both because I want them
Yeah.
and because as somebody who I went to school to work backstage in a theater, and then all of my friends are, stage managers and stuff like that. But the people who run most of these big conventions and run the setup and wiring are actually, a lot of them are IATSE stagehands as well. So that the fact that all these conventions are coming back, that's a lot of work for a lot of people in my industry. So
Yeah.
a friend of mine got kind of screwed over because, a lot of people got screwed over because of COVID. Not just that, but he lives in Wisconsin, and so he has a company that does these big events, and his company was set up to work the Democratic convention last year, and then when they shut it down, like his company was like, I mean, everybody was like that, but that was like their big thing that they were going to work was the Democratic convention, and then it didn't so.
Because it was pretty close. I mean, Wisconsin's not that far from where I live. I think it was in Milwaukee. So some of my friends and I were actually thinking about going, because Milwaukee's not a bad drive from where we are. And so we're like, yeah, we could like go to the Democratic convention and actually like get to see stuff go on. And then we're like, COVID. Same reason we didn't make it to the inauguration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Washington, D.C. is a whole other story with all the barricades that they've put up around a lot of places.
No, after everything went down, no.
Yeah, it's just not
I
the
was
same.
in D.C. last February because we went to DC before we went on a cruise. So I was in DC like right before COVID hit, and it was still, the security was a lot more than it had been when I'd been there before.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nuts. And I hope that at some point those things don't have to be there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I froze.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just. It's just a great day today. Great day.
We're fine.
But what I was going
It's
to
fine.
say,
I woke up from a nap like 20 minutes ago. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. For those of you who have your celebration tickets, you're fine. Just make sure you've got your hotels and stuff figured out. And I froze again. What the heck?
We can get in a team there, right, David? We could be like, yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 7 of us. We're all essential to this podcast.
Yes. Moving on to the next story. If you're going to celebration, great, happy for you. All right.
Well, I was going to say, you should check out like StubHub and stuff, because people who may not be able to go might put their tickets up for sale. So
that's a good
actually,
idea.
some tickets might open up.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
That's true.
Yeah.
All the cosplayers start panicking because they have 3 less months to do things.
Oh, that's right. That's right. The best one I saw when I went to Celebration in 2019 in Chicago, there was a guy there dressed up like George Lucas, and he was just going around with the can. So he had like the plaid and the beard and everything. It was great. Of course, George Lucas now lives in Chicago, so there really probably was there probably wasn't a good chance he was going to go to Celebration, but.
Yeah.
No, because nobody hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans. They would have killed him.
And there was a baby. There was like a toddler that was also dressed up like George Lucas. It had like plaid shirt and the jeans and the beard and the thing.
You're kidding me. That is the best.
That's adorable.
It was adorable. It was so awesome.
All righty. So moving on to the second big story of the day. Ewan McGregor says he shot a special scene on May 4th for the Kenobi series.
Yep.
Now, he said it was a special, like with someone special in his life.
Yeah, but not a family
member. And then he can't say, right, not a family member.
Well,
and he can't say
not
much
necessarily a family member.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I thought he didn't specify any more than that, but I haven't seen the whole thing.
Yeah, he said.
He also said it's not somebody he's done a scene with before. So
yeah,
right. I'm gonna make all of you kind of upset right now because maybe you don't want to see this. But do you remember when? Well, Emily, you probably, and Jason, you probably do. When Paul Bettany was talking about, I can't wait to work with this amazing actor on WandaVision, and it ended up. Yeah, it was himself.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that that's what he's doing in terms of he's going to be like in some weird thing where he's talking to himself, trying to get through something. I think someone special in his life that isn't related per se, I think there's a good chance, because he's never been on screen with this character this way, there's a good chance Ewan McGregor shares a scene with Darth Vader.
But he said it's someone he's never shared a scene with before. Like it was the person that the actor was someone that he had never shared a scene with.
Well,
I'm taking it.
Hayden in the suit.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
true.
taking it more as a
Like
character.
Yeah.
Because if it were, obviously it's not like Dennis Lawson, that's his uncle. I don't think Ewan McGregor has the same affinity for characters in the Clone Wars as would James Arnold Taylor, since he voiced the character for, 7 seasons. So a character like Ahsoka to him is like, okay, cool, but
wouldn't it be funny if it was the actor that James Arnold Taylor? Like,
that would be funny.
James Arnold Taylor, so it's Obi-Wan and Obi-Wan in the same scene.
Yeah.
All I can think of.
My guess was going to be Luke. That he has a scene with whoever's playing Luke.
He's got a scene with the baby in episode 3. So technically.
Well, that's true. Okay.
Technically,
I thought it might be referring to someone in his life, and it might be Dennis Lawson as a different character, because it can't be Wedge, because Wedge would have been a child at this point.
Yeah,
but that was where I was thinking, or maybe they let his
a relative play a character.
Yeah.
We said it wasn't a relative, so it wasn't like one of his daughters.
It could be his, not wife, but partner.
Well, his girlfriend.
The Scott Pilgrim girl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but he was in Fargo with her. Because I got that too.
See, all I can think of is if it's Ewan McGregor and Ewan McGregor, like Paul Bettany was. All I can think of is that scene in the third Pirates of the Caribbean movie where there's like 7 Jack Sparrows. It's just all the Obi-Wans trying to solve a problem together.
Well, that was the other one I thought maybe was that somehow he's sharing a scene with Alec Guinness. That like somehow there's like that would be
like a
cool if they brought in James Arnold Taylor though too. Like just as a random side character, just as a one-off, just to because they did that with Matt Lauer for Mando. He was one of the Republic guys in Mando.
Yeah.
Matt Lancer, not Matt Lauer. Matt Lauer.
Sorry.
Like, who was Matt Lauer?
Sorry, Matt Lancer. I woke up from a nap like 30 minutes.
Was he the one that had the door that locked from the desk?
Emily speaks Rachel, and I don't know if that's actually a good sign or not for her.
So, Emily, what do you think?
Well, I don't know who it is. I was more interested in his line about the costumes, and I wasn't able to watch the whole thing because it the video kept crashing. But there was a line where he was talking about putting on the old costume, and he said something like, "Maybe not the costume you'd expect," and I'm like, "What does that mean?"
Well, there's only 2 you'd expect. The last one we saw him in, or the Alec Guinness one, which is a little different, but not much.
Right? So I'm like, what kind of costume is he wearing?
Interesting.
He's taking down the Hutts and he's wearing Carrie Fisher's bikini while he does it.
Yeah. Well, I instantly went to, what if they somehow put him in his Clone Wars armor? That would be really cool because we haven't seen that on screen. But I don't know why they would do that.
Yeah. He'd kind of stand out a little bit.
Yeah.
If they're doing flashbacks to the Clone Wars, then he would have the armor on. That would also mean he was in a scene with Hayden Christensen also. Oh, maybe. I don't know. It was super intriguing. And it's so funny because he probably just sort of said it, and I don't think he doesn't realize that like every Star Wars fan that watched it,
we're gonna
got like one of those cork boards with like string all over it, trying to figure out exactly
meticulously go through every word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the time the series comes out, we're gonna have like We're gonna have the whiteboard of Kenobi theories.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Well, like that one. There's an actress that was cast that she was like doing lightsaber work on set,
Yes, I saw
and
that.
everyone was like, "Okay, what's the deal with this? Is she just kind of, you know, is she gonna
I'm
be
still
anybody,
holding
or-
out hope that she plays Ahsoka, like a 20-something Ahsoka.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think that'd be really cool. She could also be an Inquisitor. I know a lot of people think that, and I can
Yeah.
also see that.
So how would, if she's Ahsoka, how would you want that part of the story to be told?
I have no idea.
Okay, because
Yeah,
the reason I ask is only because of Rebels. It seems to me
Yeah.
she's no indication of Obi-Wan being around or of Anakin still being alive, and her realization to Anakin still being alive is in Rebels.
Yeah.
So it's like if Obi-Wan and her meet, he knows, I'm sure he's heard that Anakin survived.
I don't know. I think he finds that out in this series.
You
Can
think
you
so?
imagine the angst?
I think so, because I think from what he feels, like at the end of episode 3, I think Obi-Wan thinks that Anakin has died.
Yeah.
You'd think though pretty quick.
He's pretty sure Anakin's dead.
Yeah.
He was a little crispy.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
a bit.
But
Yeah,
I think it
he
would be
watched him
cool.
catch on fire. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's dead.
This is Star Wars. The guy he cut in half didn't die. I don't know if Obi-Wan's going to make assumptions.
This is
Well,
also
and the
true.
Ahsoka
This is
book
true.
also makes the point that like Ahsoka tries to reach out into the Force and feel Anakin, and she can't feel him anymore. And I assume it's kind of the same thing with Obi-Wan, that they don't feel him anymore, so they assume that he's dead. It would be cool for Ahsoka to learn about Luke, about, you know, Anakin and Padme having a child. I think that would be special.
Yeah.
And I don't think that she necessarily has to learn that Anakin is alive for Obi-Wan to learn that.
See, because the thing is, I would think that Obi-Wan would have figured out that Anakin was alive before this. Not that I don't think they can't do it on screen, but Obi-Wan is not a stupid man, and the Emperor coming out with a new apprentice right after he thought Anakin died.
You know what?
So
Palpatine
Vader
has a lot of apprentices. He whips them out.
Yeah, but isn't Vader also like? I mean, it's not like Vader is a celebrity. I mean, we all know who Vader is, but I don't think nobody. I don't think anybody knows who Tarkin is, and he's a huge player of the Empire. Nobody knows who Krennic is. Like if you're just living on Tatooine. So,
yeah, like Rey thinks that he's a myth, so they probably all think.
I feel like people in like the core systems where the Empire's around a lot, they might have heard of Vader if it's stories that got, there's this, terrible Force wielder dude. But yeah, Tatooine is kind of out there, so there is that. I feel like Obi-Wan Kenobi is smarter than Obi-Wan Kenobi probably actually is, having seen his track record.
Yeah.
Well, and
I froze
book, and I know it's not canon anymore. He found out, like in ours, that there's this guy in black called Vader. So,
yeah.
But that's not, and then that was years after. But like I said, that's not canon anymore anyway. But
yeah.
Again, it's not like they have hollows showing Vader killing Jedi or anything. He's kind of a secret.
I mean, they could.
I always thought Vader was a little bit like a secret weapon. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Interesting.
I don't think it's. I don't know. I don't know. It was just. I don't know.
It would be
but
really interesting.
Oh no, we lost David.
Now we're never going to know what would be really interesting.
What would be really interesting?
Know what's interesting
David, I have to know.
I put him back in? No? Okay, well, let me put him back in. Well, I can, but his camera just went off, so I'm assuming he's having issues.
Yeah, it did get kind of fuzzy there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just real. I don't know. It's funny. Like I said, it's funny because I'm sure he just sort of said it to set it, and I don't think he planned to set the internet on fire. But everybody is like, "Who would you do the scene with on May 4th?" It was like a special thing out of it. It probably is
feel
somebody
like
special, but
I feel like Star Wars actors, some of them have become aware of what they do to the internet and then they just start dropping gems, and some of them are still not aware. And I feel
I don't think he's aware.
I was going to say,
No,
I
I
feel
don't
like
think
he
he's
was in
aware at
Star
all.
Wars before social media was a thing. So
Yeah.
like he's not quite sure exactly what he does to the world. Meanwhile, somebody like Pedro Pascal realizes that every time he opens his mouth, like 4 Twitter threads start. So
he seemed
Well,
much more excited about working in the volume in the clip that I saw. He was like, "We got this great technology." We kept going on and on about working in the volume. It's like he was much more excited about that than what he was doing in the scenes. So
yeah, he talks about that in every interview that I see with him. He's like, "Guys, this technology," and I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah,
you're
he's
so
much more-
cute. You're adorable."
it's
But it
probably air conditioned, so he doesn't have to shoot in the desert anymore.
this is true.
I also
but we
love
did
that.
like he's got the Obi-Wan beard. He looks like Clone Wars. He looks more like Clone Wars Obi-Wan, which is weird, than Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan. I don't even know how that's possible.
He definitely
Like
looks
the beard is
disheveled.
thicker. Like the beard is thicker, the hair is longer. It's,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
he didn't quite have the Jedi mullet, which of course I miss, but it is kind of long. Yeah.
I was gonna say I found it interesting that he didn't know that his daughter posted the unicycle video. He's like, I didn't even know she posted that. Like, I'm over here being a secret unicycle list, and now the whole world knows.
Now the entire internet's like, "Aw."
Well, I know we saw it from an earlier clip, but one of the things about the unicycle thing is like he's in super good shape. If that's a recent thing of him, like he's in super good shape for this Obi-Wan series. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
Although I don't think we'll get a lot of shirtless Obi-Wan scenes, but you know.
A girl can hope. If he wanted to meditate shirtless for a while, I would still be totally okay with that.
He's probably like, I'm 50. I'm not taking my shirt off of you guys. You're out of your mind. Okay, how good a shape I'm in. I'm 50 years old. Get out of here. So, should we? Do you guys have anything else to add to the Kenobi thing? I mean, there's no point in trying to make a prediction as to who he did the scene with, because it's just kind of.
Yeah, we'll never. I mean, we will know eventually, but there's.
Yeah,
we won't know until we know.
It'll end up being a scene that's like 3 seconds.
Yeah, and we really won't know until like the behind the scenes of Kenobi. Like it's not like they're gonna do like a big flashing sign like this is the scene he talked about on Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
We probably won't know till then.
Oh.
All right.
David said we're going on without him tonight.
All right. Well, I know Rachel doesn't want to talk about this, but the other big story over the last couple of days is there's another show they're shooting for Disney Plus. I'm trying to remember what the name of it is. Andrea.
Andor. What was it? It's a little show.
Dave, since Jason is doing terrible things to my blood pressure right now.
There was behind the scenes photos of Diego Luna on the set of Andor.
Yes.
Also coming to Disney Plus. And we'll just let Rachel just go. And then Emily and I will bump in at the end.
Take it away.
I'm cool. I'm a professional. I'm calm. So there's a behind the scenes photo of Andor, and I'm not normally a paparazzi / leaks person because these are all leaks. None of this is official. Until I had a bad week, and then suddenly I'm following all the paparazzi trying to see pictures of Andor sets because I'm weak. There's Shore Troopers, which look really cool. There's some sets we've seen, which all also look cool. And then there's Diego Luna, who looks like he's doing really good. I want to know, like, that man's stylist, because somehow he's 41, I believe. And while he doesn't look exactly the 21 Diego Luna is supposed to be in Andor, they're going to like digitally de-age him a little bit. He looks really young, and I would like to know his secret because he looks really good.
Well, he didn't have the goat in the pictures that I saw.
No,
He had,
he's
like,
pretty.
the stubble,
He's
but he
got
didn't
like
have he was
yeah, he's got a
clean-shaven.
5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah,
I might have
so
yelled
that
about
might
that
help.
for a while. That's fine.
So that'll
That was
probably
one of my
help a
friends.
little
He's like,
bit.
he doesn't have his little, he doesn't have his It was the mustache that he had for Rogue One. No, he does look younger. He did have a little bit of a goatee too, but he also had a mustache.
I wonder
The other guys.
Okay.
if they're de-aging him, if it would be easier to add that in afterwards. Because you don't want a Superman mustache situation.
I wonder if he might just be a little more clean shaven because he's younger, and that's one of the ways guys can look younger fairly easily.
That is
That's
get
what
out
I
of
was
there.
thinking. Because in movies to age somebody, they'll put a beard on them. So like, whenever somebody's old in some sort of awful sitcom, they always have like some long ZZ Top beard. So they're probably that's what they get rid of it.
Doing theater, that's one of the easiest ways that you can like conceal someone's face and work wrinkles into them as a beard. So it stands to reason the reverse works too. It's like those guys everybody knows in their life that they shave and suddenly they look like they're in high school again. And I'm like, you're 30. How did that just happen?
When I was a neighbor, one of my kids, one of my kids, I don't have the kids. When I was a kid, one of my neighbors, that's what I meant to say.
When you were a neighbor?
I had like 4 strokes right then. Anyway, yeah, one of my neighbors, they've been married forever. The whole time they'd been married, the husband had a beard, and one day he just decided to shave it. And he walks out of the bathroom, and his wife was like about to call the cops. She didn't recognize him.
My dad did that on one of our when we went to Jamaica when I was a kid. We just kind of had a weird couple of days on vacation, and my mom had been after my dad for years to shave his like really thick 90s mustache off, and he did it on vacation in Jamaica. So of course there's now a patch of skin that doesn't match the rest of his face, and he looks for that patch of skin the whole thing. But now when I show people pictures of my dad, they're like, oh my God, he looks younger now than he did back. I'm like, yeah, because the mustache, like it was the terrible 90s mustache.
Now the other thing they showed in one of those photos, there was a guy on stilts in a motion capture outfit. So I'm guessing that's going to be K2 or
they said I don't think they're taking.
Alan Tudyk isn't playing him, but maybe Alan Tudyk's going to come back and do the voice.
It could be because originally they've billed this show as K2 and Cassian, but then they kind of started saying that they weren't sure if K2 was going to be in it, and I don't know because it's kind of gone both ways.
Did they was it motion capture like suit or on the face? I didn't.
It was a guy. It was a guy in a suit, and he had like a gray suit on, and had like the little tabs all over him, and he was on stilts. So,
yeah, because usually it's
that makes sense.
When I was watching behind the scenes stuff for K2, they both did for a while. They did him. Usually it was a stunt guy. I don't think they put Alan on stilts usually because that takes some skill. But they either did someone on stilts or they'd put them in motion capture, and then they'd put like a target where the person was, because you had to look higher than the person's actual head to shot K2.
Yeah,
I saw that for Rogue One, and for they did that also for Age of Ultron. And the thing that struck me both times they did it is the picture looks so cheap. Like it's just like a really bad, like just printed out picture of like a robot's face like on a stick. Like it's like you think it's a little bit more professional, but it looks like something I made with like a paper plate and like a stick and some duct tape. Yeah. It's crazy.
But then I mean that's the same thing as like for when they did the Harry Potter movies. If you were talking to the house elf, you were talking to basically a tennis ball on a stick most of the time. That was where they'd put the
I mean, I guess a paper plate on a stick is a step up from the tennis ball, because even Ewan McGregor's talked about that in Attack of the Clones. He's like doing a scene with a tennis ball half the time. So
yeah,
well, he's so excited about the volume. That's all he talks about.
I mean, after doing the, technology has advanced in filmmaking, because he hasn't done a lot of, hi buddy, sorry, I'm trying to get him to stop settling. He hasn't done a lot of really big sci-fi films since Star Wars, has he? I know he did Birds of Prey, which probably had some effects in it, but like
I kind of
he
feel
hasn't
like
done
once you
anything
do,
that tech heavy.
Yeah, I
he
kind of
does
feel
a
like
lot
once you
of
do
different stuff.
Star Wars, you're like, I don't need to do any more science fiction. I'm sorry, I don't need to do Star Trek. I did Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
you've
he
already done
did
Star Wars.
the Impossible movie about the.
Oh, is that the one with the typhoon?
I think so. I think he was in that, right?
Yeah, yes, because it's got Tom Holland in it, right? Tom Holland plays his son.
Yeah, I've not seen
And
it.
Tom Holland's
I've
like
seen
5.
it on the TV as my mom is watching.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's done anything to scale sci-fi. I mean,
Yeah,
special effects
I'm trying
wise
to think.
since the prequels.
Yeah.
Because like I'm looking at my shelf. I have Big Fish. He's in that, and I know there's
Yeah.
stuff in that, but
Well,
nothing like Star Wars.
Yeah, I was trying to think of things with a lot of visual effects.
Yeah.
Big Fish.
And
I can't think
especially
of stuff
with
in my head.
the prequels were very not that this is a bad thing because technology, but they did go more heavily into CGI than I think they used in the sequels. The sequels, they returned to a lot of the practical effects, I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
still obviously they had
They mixed them
digital,
well.
but they mixed them up for that. They did a lot more CGI in the prequels because they could now. I mean, it wasn't like the OT where
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I'm trying
interesting
to look
to
him up
see
on.
the wave of visual effects in movies, like
Yeah.
how much ingenuity you had before, like CGI. Like watching how they made the original trilogy is fascinating. But then you in the late 90s, early 2000s, you got more digital effects, and so then people went crazy with them, and then we realized it might not look as great.
Yeah. It's like
it might not age as well.
I think like my gold standard for like that early to mid aughts CGI is always going to be the first 3 Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Yeah, those are
because
great.
those really, pardon me, those have really held up.
Yeah. Oh well, and I think the Lord of the Rings movies too.
Yeah, I can say the Lord of the Rings
because they came out like right early 2000s, and it would have been so easy for them to look so cheap, but they did a lot of practical effects with miniatures and were really smart about it.
Yeah. I'm just talking
really
more with pirates, more the like the alien faces, or the not alien because they're good, the sea creature supernatural faces and motion capture.
That's right, the guy. Yeah. But what did you think, Rachel, of the Andor pictures? I mean, were you excited? I mean, I know you were excited.
I was so excited.
Did you extrapolate like any possible story things, or you just
I yelled about Cassian Andor needing to stay away from beaches because apparently he didn't have a good time last time we saw him on one. I yelled for a while. Hannah texted me to make sure I was still breathing. I sent them to multiple friends, and we are like, "That's a cool new shore trooper," and I'm like, "Guys, we're missing the focus here. They're bringing Cass." Like, it almost made it feel real because, like, I know they're doing a Cassian Andor show, but you guys know how much I love Rogue One. Like, I'm wearing a Rogue One T-shirt again. I own more than one. It's kind of embarrassing. But the fact that because there's no set photos, it's officially quote unquote real that this character's coming back. No, I mean, they didn't really give us enough to extrapolate a story other than we know, there's going to be obviously some cool action because we're seeing, it looks like in one of the scenes that there might have been somebody wired to fly, not like fly, but like you get blasted back. They're wired for an effect. So you get the idea that there are going to be some pretty cool action sequences, because I thought that Andor could go either way. It could go into the idea of the battles of Rogue One, or it could also go into more of a spy movie where they try and put it more in secrecy. So if they just basically give me Star Wars James Bond, I will die a happy woman.
I thought, looking at the pictures, that it was Cassian Andor. He's a senior at Coruscant University. It's a spring break, and
look,
the whole
okay.
It's a spring break.
I told you, Diego Luna looks good in all of his photos that they took of him, because all of them you can also tell, and this is one of the things from this photos when he's not on camera, Diego Luna's having the time of his life. Because every photo, he looks like a child that has been allowed to play Star Wars.
I think that's why I was a little taken aback with some of the ones that I saw, because he was like super excited to be there. So, like when he was just, you know what I mean? Like normally when people are like on set, like when they're not on set, they're just like. But he like looked like really excited to be there. So.
There are people in Star Wars that are a little more method actory, like where Adam Driver's still trying to brood when he's offset for stuff because it's hard to just snap into the Kylo Ren headspace over and over again. Right. Diego Luna's always like, dude, they pay me to do this.
All right. Well, Emily, did you get a chance to look at them?
No, I'm trying to find them.
Here, do you want me to? Would you like me to drop them all in the Discord to you?
Yeah. I'm sure Rachel could get them to you before you could find them on Google.
No, they're not. Look, I'm feeling a lot of judgment coming my way right now.
Well, and the thing is, like, I don't know which is what. You know, like I don't know what are the new photos.
There was a couple released over a couple days because I know some of them came out because I was showing them to my friend when we were out for we went out for Mexican food on Cinco de Mayo, which is always like the worst choice to ever make. But everybody else had been posting Mexican food all day, so we really wanted Mexican food. So we went out and I'm like, here, do you want to see 25 photos of the new Cassian Andor show?
Oh, here they are. Okay.
I see the one that you put in our Twitter. Is it?
Oh, go to the Discord, Emily.
If you're on the Discord, I just dropped a few of them in there.
Very cool.
I'm trying to find the one with that's the one with the shore trooper. I like the look of this shore trooper. He looks pretty cool. I will not put them up here on the screen because people might not want to see leaks, but also my new Rogue One phone case came in.
I love this outfit he's wearing.
I do too. It's like the Snoopy, get back here. Sorry, dog. Yeah, it's very clearly like the shirt style's the same, so it kind of looks like, like standard issue for whatever a man would wear at that time period in Star Wars. But like even his outfit is lighter colors than he is in Rogue One.
Yeah.
So he does look younger.
Yeah. I always had that theory about Han Solo, that Han Solo just had the same shirt in all three movies. He wore a vest in two of them and a jacket for Empire. It was still the white shirt the whole time.
I feel like if you look at like men in Star Wars, there is like two styles of space shirt because all of them, like there's a side by side somewhere, it's Han Solo, Cassian Andor, Poe Dameron, and they all have the same shirt. Somebody's like, I present to you the Space Henley, because it's literally the same shirt.
Well, and Ben in Last Jedi's got the same shirt that Poe has in the rest of the movies too. So
yeah,
and his jacket.
I was gonna say it's also interesting to see how like modern fashion influences. It's like make it stylish for now, but also make it Star Wars. Like his pants, how they're fitted at the ankle, like that was 90s, but 90s is coming back, so that's like fashionable. Like I would wear these pants today and the shoes. Every time somebody calls something from the 90s vintage, I think I age 4 years. Yeah. Oh no, my birthday is next week, and I'm feeling old. I'm feeling old. But yeah, you can't really discern much from I don't see any blasters or any
they literally
accessories.
It dropped just enough crumbs to make me yell for about 3 hours because I had nothing better to do that week. Yeah, no, it made me very happy because I'm sure the show will make me cry, because what I want, if you've ever seen Casino Royale, it's like the how James Bond became 007 story. I want that for Cassian Andor, and then I look at myself and I'm like, why do you want Star Wars to hurt you again, Rachel? Why do you want this?
Is there ever a Star Wars story that doesn't hurt us?
I think the last Jedi didn't hurt too bad for me because, okay, hot take. I don't actually like Luke Skywalker that much. So, like, everybody was all like, "Oh my god, my hero died in Last Jedi," and I'm like,
I think that's the most controversial thing ever said on this podcast.
I know that rivals Emily and Yoda.
I know. I was like, even I wouldn't say that.
My favorite Luke is Last Jedi Luke. I'm sorry.
Well, A New Hope has a happy ending. It does.
It does.
That ends on a high note.
I was going to say, I don't usually cry during New Hope.
No,
I actually today, I did today as a joke because we were going through, I was prepping stuff for this week. My friends are like, so what was like the top 10 moments in Star Wars that make you cry? And I came up with a list and only half of them were Rogue One.
Order 66?
I don't think I didn't put Order 66 on there. Order 66 wasn't on my list. I know it hurts. I believe my two, it was lines. I think I said lines that made me cry.
Okay.
The one from animation was Anakin, I'm not leaving you again. And I'm like, yep, that's the point we turned on the waterworks in that particular episode of Rebels.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But yeah, no, I'm just expecting because like there's, if you start thinking, because there's, people being cast, that you get the idea that they're going to have people be Cassian's family. And in Rogue One, he doesn't have a family anymore. And you're like, I saw how this went the last time they gave me new characters that weren't in the timeline later.
Have they done a cast list for Andor?
They've
given like they did for Kenobi? I don't think they have.
Because they're focusing all of their attention on Kenobi and are not giving the Rogue One fans any crumbs. And we are a small but mighty group. Let me look. I know there was casting announcements. Boots, if you do not calm down.
I'm glad you've uncovered the massive Andor conspiracy.
I will talk about this a lot because they've confirmed that Mon Mothma is coming in.
Yeah, I thought I knew that, and I thought I knew Jimmy Smits. Is he also in it?
I don't think they've ever said Jimmy Smits.
Okay.
Kyle Solar who's done a couple things. Denise Gao, Gough, who was in Angels in America, apparently. Stellan Skarsgård from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay, I know who he is. Yeah, he's in the Thor movies.
He's also in Mamma Mia.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he is. He's in a ton of stuff. I like him.
Is he related to the other Skarsgårds?
Yeah, he's related. I think he's their dad.
Yeah, I think so. He's their dad. Or their uncle.
I think is he the one in Thor?
Yes, he's in Thor. Girl with the dragon tattoo.
Gotcha.
He was the bad guy in Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Yeah. Good Will Hunting. He's in Good Will Hunting.
I've never seen Good Will Hunting.
What?
I know!
Rachel assignment. Moulin Rouge, Good Will Hunting.
I know. I've been listening to the
rest of the Clone Wars.
Does that count? Okay, he has 8 children.
Who does? Stellan Skarsgård?
Papa Skarsgård.
Wow.
Bill
all I know is the one from It. Yeah.
Well, and the guy the one that's on True Blood.
He's Alexander.
He was Tarzan a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And he was in Kong versus Godzilla. His son.
Was he?
He's got hot kids. I don't know what his wife looks like. I mean, he's a slouch, but he's got hot kids.
I was gonna say they're from.
You're not wrong.
Most of them are actors too.
Yep. I mean, tends to run in the family, like the Gleasons.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about runs in the family. Look at the Hemsworth boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that? I saw something that was. I think it might have been like Kimmy Schmidt or something. They said that somebody was dating the ugly Hemsworth.
Well, I mean, they're all lovely.
Yeah.
I don't remember what
did we get
I was
them?
referencing the other day. I told somebody that
Yeah,
it
we had like
was.
stories too. We're really gonna wrap it all. That's what happens when Dave freezes.
Sorry.
Rachel.
We're just like we're off on it, but yeah, I was very excited to see this. I mean, it looks like they're doing a lot of on-set stuff versus like indoor studio stuff, which is kind of cool.
Mhm.
And so yeah, last short segment, I guess. For the first time, we have official Lucasfilm Star Wars Pride merch. And
I
if you
saw
would
the
like to
bag.
see,
I saw the bag that had all the lightsabers, and then they were
that's
rainbow.
from Takedana Traders. That's not Lucasfilm.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
buying that one
That's
too,
not a
though.
visual?
I'm buying that one too, though.
So,
I'm going to buy it all. I've already bought a ton of Pride merch this year, but I'm going to buy more.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
I just saw the Funko Pops.
yeah, there was there's like
what's the Funko
5 or
Pops? I didn't see it.
there's some. Let me see if I can.
There's gonna be a Pride BB-8 that is Funko Shop exclusive. Stormtrooper, I think.
Yeah, that
What is that?
Stormtrooper.
I mean,
Yeah.
what is it delineate? I mean, what is the big
They're
deal? Just
they're
BB-8?
what have been released before, but in rainbow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they look real cute.
Which, I mean, I have as much problem with anybody else about, companies don't give a ton of LGBT representation and then they go rainbow for Pride, and it's like, you could do. But Disney is donating a lot to charity, and the reason I support when companies do this is because don't read the comments on their Pride announcement. Just don't. It's
Well, don't read the comments ever. Period. But that's
true, but
that's another whole thing.
It's pretty bad. So,
yeah.
But I love that they're using their properties and doing all sorts of fun Pride stuff. But yeah, there is, for the first time, Star Wars is in the Disney Pride line, and they have a shirt, which I will probably be rocking eventually because it's Porgs in a Pride rainbow.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never needed anything as much as I've needed a rainbow Porgs shirt.
Oh.
Yes.
So but all of Disney's doing it too. It's not not just Star Wars specific. It's all of Disney, and then there's just a Star Wars section, right?
Yeah, they've got a lot of Pride Mickey Mouse stuff, because obviously that black silhouette of Mickey Mouse works really well with Pride stuff and the rainbows and stuff. Marvel has some. They've got some Disney Marvel Pride merch, which is cool. And then they have the Star Wars stuff. So it's pretty cool stuff, and it's where my entire paycheck is just floating out the window to all the Pride merch.
Your landlord's going to come for the rent. You'd be like, "Will you take a rainbow porg instead?"
Yeah, would you like a rainbow porg? I mean, if you look, come here, buddy. You want a model? We have Pride collars on already.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
He's like, Mom, I do not wish to be perceived, Mom.
Oh, I do like some of these shirts. I don't know if
got
the
some
list
real
I'm looking
cute-
at are the official. Oh, yep, because they're the Porgs.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And 5 different people have sent the Star Wars Pride merch to me already, so I'm not sure if I have a reputation, but I might have a reputation as the person. Literally, 10 months out of the year, I'm like cold and gray. Like, we're gray all the time. June, I am rainbow. Christmas, I am red and green. Other 10 months of the year, there's no color in my life.
Yeah, I just want to say I did have on my cute new Ahsoka shirt today, and then allergies made me feel really sick, so I put my pajamas on.
Oh, that's
I
fine.
support that. I hope you're feeling better. Those suck. I feel like this year's been a really bad one for
Well, and
allergies.
it's just been really rainy and gross outside this week, and so
Yeah.
I take my dog out, and then I come back in, and I'm just like, I sneeze like 10 times.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jason, we
Wait.
need the Zira update.
Oh, she's protected. You didn't hear her like 10 minutes ago?
Oh, I heard her.
Yeah,
I just needed to make sure that she was appropriately compensated
out on
for her
the
work
deck.
guarding you.
I keep looking out the window because she's watching somebody out in the parking lot. I probably should make sure it's not somebody with a knife or something, but she's guarding the back porch. No one has climbed up to kill us. So
Okay, good girl, good girl.
Speaking of dogs, I saw the Ahsoka collar and leash. And there's one that I had seen before that I wasn't into, but there's another one that I saw today that I really liked. So I put that on Rex's wish list.
I was going to say, I saw that this morning. I think I sent you a message, or I sent it to the group chat on Twitter because I wasn't sure if you were on Insta or not, but that's where I saw it this morning.
Yeah.
My dogs actually have Rebel Alliance collars too. So they have little collars with different, there's the Starbirds and R2 and stuff. And then they have little dangling Rebel Alliance charms.
Yeah.
My mom says it's basically me claiming them because they match my tattoo. So, but yeah, no, right now we are very good Pride boys.
Yeah. I had to switch my dog's collar a few years ago from the kind that snap to the kind that it's like a belt because he saw a squirrel at the park one day and broke out of his collar. I had to chase him around the park, but now he's so old he can't do that. So I think I can get the Ahsoka collars now.
See,
the
problem with my guys is they have like such skinny necks because they're part dachshund. So like when I put a harness on most of the time, come here, Snooper. Yeah, his head is very skinny. His chest is not. So he can wear a harness and then all he has to do is like plant his feet and pop backwards and he can pop harness over his head because his neck won't stop it.
Oh,
so smart. Yeah, after popping a bunch of harnesses, we finally found one that I can keep on him. So that's why. Hi, buddy. Yeah, I know. Yes, I'm very aware. Thank you. Hi. Yeah, I know. We're going to Aunt Missy's after this.
Zira got weird one time. I had to take her collar off. She had a new rabies tag, so I had to put it on her collar. So I just took her collar off. We were in the house, and she just looked at me like, "What are you doing?" Like I'd taken her, like I'd taken one of her feet off. She was just like
my Sheltie used to be like that.
She's like, oh my God, he's getting rid of me. He's gonna get rid of me. He took the collar off.
Oh, that's so sad.
My Sheltie used to be like that. Like now my dogs don't wear collars like 90% of the time. Yeah. But like when we took our Sheltie's collar off for a bath or something, she was like, I'm not decent.
I know, yeah. She's just like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah, we take Rex's collar off all the time because he likes to have his neck scratched. But the first time we did it, we had him for like 2 months. And I have a picture and he's just laying in my bed upside down, just like totally in bliss. He loved it. Yep. And well, because he was in the shelter so long, I think he had the collar on that whole time because it was the same collar when we got him as like that he went in with.
Oh, poor baby.
So, and he has
How old was Rex when you adopted him?
He was 7 and he'll be 13 in June. So.
You adopted him as a middle-aged dog. That's what I did with mine. They were adopted as middle-aged fellas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Zira at 4 months. So I've had her
goodness.
So I've had her basically almost her whole life. So she's I probably if I turned the camera on you couldn't see her because it's dark, but she's just like looking intently over between the bars of the deck. She's just like she's very intent. Yeah, she should be tired. I took her to the dog park on Wednesdays and Fridays because I know we have a show and I don't want her like going nuts. I take her to the dog park. And she should be exhausted because she ran all over the place. There was some new dog there that was chasing her, so she chased her back. So she should be exhausted, but she's wide awake and intently staring at somebody outside. I probably should check this out when we're done. Do we have another story, or are we?
Just that if a reminder, Bad Batch is coming out on Friday, which I don't think any of us forgot. But if you're like me, you might have forgotten which day this week was Friday because I've spent most of today thinking it was Thursday.
Yeah, I know. Yes. I don't have any major predictions because I don't think they do trailers. But I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see what's.
I think that there's going to be a lot of very tough men that are suddenly soft fathers.
Although they're already a little soft. I mean, I know Wrecker's supposed to be the tough one, but he seems to be the
He's wearing a poncho.
Yeah, I think he's kind of the gooeyest one of the bunch at this point. So I think I think right now, I mean, aside from Crosshair, I think probably Tech is like the least soft of them. Even Echo's kind of, Wasn't Echo the one that was upset that when he found out that Omega was on the ship and they had taken it in?
I think so. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't
your coat's coming apart.
That's probably.
But
I won't be here on Friday or Saturday because I'm going to go see some movies. Hopefully, fingers crossed, in a theater.
Because it's your birthday, right?
Yeah, my birthday's next week, so it's the weekend before.
Woo!
Yeah.
So. What are you planning on seeing, or do you know yet?
We really want to see the Demon Slayer movie, so that's like top of our list. We just finished the show last week, and like the show doesn't have a satisfying season finale because it's like they want you to go see the movie. So see the movie.
I don't even know what this is. So okay.
It's an anime. It's on Netflix.
I've seen what the costume looks like because that's what one of the people I was at the cosplay photo shoot with was supposed to be. I'm like, oh, cool. I have no idea who you are right now, but that's okay. You look great.
Yeah, it's pretty popular. I've heard good things about the movie, so I'm excited. And then I also want to see Raya and the Last Dragon because I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, Kelly Marie Tran. I've heard it's real good.
Yeah,
it is good. I saw it twice. I saw I watched it at my sister's, so I guess they ponied up on Disney Plus for it. It's really good. I really liked it. I thought it was really good. So,
and most importantly, I'm gonna get some Pib.
Important considerations are important.
I forgot all about the importance of Mr. Pibb when you visit the movie. So.
Yeah, some cookie dough bites and some Mr. Pibb. Set. Perfect birthday.
She's not even going to watch a movie. She's just going to sit in an empty theater with a Pib.
Yeah, my go-to snack. Yeah, because I have a movie snack. Mine is usually cherry Coke, and I get a bunch of Crunch. That's usually my.
I see.
I like a bunch of Crunch.
I get popcorn, and I'm not.
Yeah, I mean popcorn's a given.
I mean, yeah, but then if I have to get I don't know. I usually get, I think, some kind of sour candy because I love sour candy, and I'll get a Coke, or a tea. But it depends on if how many times when I went to go see Rise of Skywalker 5 times, I had to start getting water because I drank like so many buckets of soda.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, it's a huge. Like I normally don't drink cherry Coke, so it's like a thing to go to the movies and get a cherry Coke.
Yeah,
that was this week. I went to the St. Louis Zoo with a friend, and we were, because neither of us has been drinking a lot of soda, so we're sitting at the zoo sharing a soft pretzel and drinking Cokes, and we're having the time of our, because we're adults and we can spend the money to do it. And then we fed the stingrays like 5 times each because we're adults and we can do it. It's great.
I love it. There's nothing. Yeah, it's special to like go to a certain place and have like the soda or whatever beverage you get at that place. Love it. You were talking about sour candy. That reminded me. I don't like sour candy, and I don't really like Skittles either. So like 2 separate things. We were at the movie theater, and my husband had gotten Skittles, and he offered like, "Oh, hey, do you want a Skittle?" And it's dark, so I'm like, "All right," because he like gets offended if I don't eat the food that he offers me. He's like. So I eat it and didn't realize it was a sour Skittle, and like the most disgusting thing I've ever eaten in my life.
I remember, I think we were going to see the 3rd Harry Potter movie, and they weren't showing it at the theater in the town I grew up in because they were having a contract dispute with the different companies, so they didn't get Warner Brothers movies then. So we drove to the theater that was like 20-30 minutes away, but my mom took all of my friends, and so we each got like the two sodas and a popcorn. We paired up and got them, and so then if somebody ran out of popcorn, your friend would give you some. But my friends forgot to tell me they put sour Skittles in their popcorn, and that was a very surprising bite.
Oh man.
Also, don't ever eat the entire bag of them during a movie, because I went to go see Rise of Skywalker, ate a bag of sour Skittles, and cried a lot. And that was a really fun morning after. I'm like, can you have a Skittle hangover?
Oh. Yeah, the only time I do with Skittles, when I lived in Chicago, I knew somebody who made Skittle shots. So it was like Skittles and vodka and Jello.
I have not heard of that.
Yeah.
I've done Sour Patch Kid themed. Like my sister once, we made fizzy vodka lemonades and put Sour Patch Kids in them, and my ex is like, I want no part of it. But now, guys, they make Sour Patch Kids and they make them bags just of the blue ones. And blue is the superior flavor of every kind of candy ever. So they just make the blue ones. And I have a bag of them in my car waiting for me.
Right. All right. Well, then I think that'll wrap up the news. We did talk a little bit about news, but
There was news somewhere in this.
Yeah.
There was news somewhere where we
Isn't there?
talked a lot about Stellan Skarsgård's hot kids and what we eat at the movies. So
All relevant.
yes. So we will
Okay.
be back. We'll
There was a Skittles hangover. It
Skittle
was
hangover?
bad. That's all you need to know. My tone was so raw from
All right.
sour Skittles. But yeah, we'll be back. We're doing Friday.
We'll record our
Patreon?
Words Between Worlds on Friday. It'll be out on Monday.
Unless
But
you're
if
on
you're a patron,
Saturday
you can
for
watch the
happy-
live stream.
Yeah, if you're a Patreon, you can watch that live. And then I don't know what's going on with your Star Wars journeys, but I think those come out on Wednesday if we have them. And I know we got
Fridays.
a couple coming up. Fridays, okay. Yeah, and then I know that we've set up a couple. I don't know when they're gonna hit the interwebs, as the kids call it. So for the followers of the Force podcast, I have Jason along with
Rachel?
I pointed to my screen as if you guys knew what I was doing.
And Emily.
And thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.
Oh no, now Jason's freezing.
No.